Welcome, everyone, to Four Guys on a Couch, and I forgot to do this one part. The struggles are real. We're back after last week. We kind of just threw in a recorded episode from a previous week, but returning, because they weren't here for that other week, and we got the guy again. But you got, to my right, is my Flying Dutchman, Chris Skelton.
Right, left.
Left. Okay, to my left. Next to him, on his left,
Just say TBD.
it's to be determined.
Thank you.
Jeez. And making his debut appearance on Four Guys on a Couch, it's your boy, Toby Van Lair. I'll try to fix this real quick. How's everyone doing?
Last week we're doing great.
Excellent.
The struggles are real bad. No.
I like how they can see this. It's pretty funny. You're doing well, guys.
Okay, we're good. We're good. Okay. So guys, I'm going to start off this week. My topic is, we have all these different created universes, like Star Wars, Star Trek, Mass Effect. Whatever you have it. What is one fictional universe that you'd love to live in, and why? Good question. So, my pick would be good old. What am I doing? I don't even know what I'm doing. I would love to be in the Game of Thrones universe, but of course I would be like a souped-up magician because there are a few of those, and you can take out everyone. Also, I would love to, do crossbow. Also, bow and arrow. Take people out. Be a rogue in the night, assassinating people. I don't know. Do shenanigans and mess up the order of the world. That would be my pick for Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. I don't know. I have to think about it.
Same here. There's all these alternate universes have their own messed up, twisted.
There's always a negative.
Yeah. I mean, the Marvel universe is always getting destroyed
And recreated.
and recreated like that. I can't handle that. It's just too much stress. It's like, I bought a TV last week. Now it's broken because some alien decided to invade the planet. It's like, forget this. I'm not buying furniture anymore. The DC universe, now that's a different scenario. Except, I don't know. Perhaps a DC universe. It seems like ours, except with superheroes.
Yeah, as long as you avoid New York or
Metropolis or
Gotham.
Definitely.
No, you don't even have to go. New York doesn't get touched. It's all the made up cities that get.
Yeah, that's right. As long as you avoid those two places.
Or Kansas.
Just Kansas is a giant hotbed of death.
Nothing for the people that live in Kansas. We love you. It's just in the DC universe. It's just carnage. Yeah, it's like Superman was born. No, Superman wasn't born there. Superman landed there, so it's just off limits. It's like I'd rather drive like 5,000 miles around Kansas than go through Kansas for fear of something happening.
So if you're in the DC universe, what would be? You can have powers. You just get planted in that universe and get to live like you want to live. Within reason.
Batman.
You'd be the Black Batman.
You would be the Batman.
You'd be the
darkest night.
The darkest night. No one can see you.
Makes it even better.
Right.
Plus I have money. So it's just like,
Okay.
That's good. Yeah. Okay.
Unless Chris has his.
No.
Okay. Firstly, thank you, Henry, for having me on the show. We very much appreciate
Speak
it.
up.
As I said, thank you, Henry, for having me on the show. I appreciate it. It's your boy Toby, and I would like to say I'm kind of stuck between three because I love DC, I love Marvel, and I love the Star Wars universe, but I'd love to be in DC because, well, one reason the probability of you getting powers in this universe is much higher than anywhere else. You get somehow, somewhere, you're either gonna end up getting powers or
You can just be a shield agent and
Yeah.
just be a EA.
or you can work. What's the other type of shield type agency in DC? There's the Amanda Waller's thing.
Oh, you want to be in the Suicide Squad?
Not Suicide Squad. The main.
Oh,
organization.
Checkmate, I think it is.
What was it called? I can't. Okay, I
I think
remember.
I think it's Checkmate. I think
Maybe
it's
that's it. I can't quite
It's
recall.
a secret black ops government organization that does whatever they want.
Oh wow. I haven't read that far in the comics, but
They're like anti-heroes.
Like anti-heroes?
They're trying to do the best for the American people,
the best.
Their own way.
Their own way.
like killing off Superman.
Yeah, I mean DC is good. You're probably gonna get powers in DC universe, but DC everyone's powers are so OP, and by OP I mean overpowered. Like Superman is halfway towards God. I mean it's like I
Well, you
don't.
just gotta put him on another planet.
I guess yeah, maybe just put him on another planet, but then I mean
Another
every.
galaxy, more like it.
No, it's just another solar system.
Yeah.
As long as it doesn't have a yellow sun.
As long as there's no yellow sun, you're good.
Or you
But
can just seal him in kryptonite.
that didn't work. Yeah, there was a time in the comics they injected his bloodstream with kryptonite, and it still didn't kill him.
That's because
Just because of the
they didn't
writers.
consult Bruce Wayne.
But yeah, but then everyone is so OP. But then Marvel is cool because it's more, I guess, more down to earth ish. But then there's Thor, and there's Hulk. But it's more. But then there's like a Thor and a Hulk. There's like 10 of them or 50 of them in like the DC universe. So that's why. And then Star Wars, everyone's powers is equal, kind
You
of.
just want to be a Jedi.
But yeah, I just want to be a Jedi. That's all. I want to do all that force pushing. When everybody's kind of equal, in a way. Not really, but everyone's almost there. But it's just not as fun. I feel.
Because a clone trooper can kill a Jedi.
Yeah. Yes.
Like that.
Exactly. Just like with the blaster, and it's just so. I
It's
would.
like back up.
Yeah. I would definitely go with the DC as long as I get some power that is at least half of what a Superman's is. At least I'll stand a fighting chance to see if you win. To
Well,
go
if you just walk around your house with that power, you gotta do work on your car, just lift it up.
So DC's my pick. DC's 7 should be my pick.
I'm gonna go a completely different route. I was a big fan of Final Fantasy growing up, and I would love to jump into Final Fantasy X. And that's like
Just to play
the hardest
Blitzball?
one. I would play so much Blitzball. I would be a Blitzball player. I wouldn't even care about fighting, even
You
though
don't
I
care
would
if
be the most
sin would kill
legit.
you?
Man, I'd be the most legit. Like I don't know. That's what
Maybe
I love about
Tidus?
Final Fantasy X is no, I wouldn't be Tidus. I would probably like whenever I was growing up, I always pretended that I had like a big old spear and stuff, and was like really cool. It was like a really fast spearman. But if I had to fight, yeah, Kingdom Hearts would be my second. That's what I was gonna say. After I was done with the Final Fantasy spiel, I was like Kingdom Hearts would be my second choice because Kingdom Hearts is also legit. But Final Fantasy X would be the one I'd jump into, and I would play so much Blitzball. Like I'd be the star Blitzball player, for sure.
Dude, I forgot about anime. Can I do a redo?
No,
No, you have spoken.
You have decided.
You have decided.
So yeah, my second choice though would be Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, this is where Batman comes in. With the money I have, I can do a lot of genetic research to make my world look like a Pokemon.
No, stop it.
Dang it, I would be this
Stop
Pokemon
it.
you just.
Now we've all changed our choices. Alright, we're going to Pokemon.
There's no Pokemon world,
Yeah.
Do you know? Power Pikachu.
Yeah.
Or we can hang out with Sheldon.
He's supposedly smart enough to. I don't.
He is 169
IQ.
IQ.
That's pretty high.
Leonard, the stupid person in the group, was like 150. Hofstadter, no, Hofstadter.
Hofstadter is not.
Yeah, that's what I just thought about. Oh, what's his face? Howard. Howard's the stupidest. He's like 145 or something like that. And Raj is like between Leonard and Sheldon.
So Raj is smarter than Leonard.
Yeah. Oh, I have it all in one of these.
Oh my gosh.
We're gonna figure this out.
We've switched topics.
I swear.
Yeah, now this is completely irrelevant.
Okay, here we go.
I could add a third universe.
No, yeah, I said it right.
If I could add a third universe, I want to live with Sheldon.
Easy commercial. I have Persona.
Free Wi-Fi.
Free Wi-Fi.
Oh,
And it's
wow.
just you're a stealer.
Man, he's a gamer.
I love Oliver Queen as my roommate.
Which Oliver Queen?
Which Oliver-
Smallville?
Stephen Amell,
Okay.
Oliver Queen. I get so ripped. Just,
You being his crew.
Heck yeah.
Any final thoughts on the universe?
No, stick to mine.
Okay. That was actually kind of a short topic. So let's,
We'll just say
Wait, what?
it was.
Okay.
yeah.
We'll just say that the universe thing is what it is.
Okay. We can do that. That's fine. Okay. Thank you for y'all joining us. Remember, commenters, viewers, you can comment on the side. Join us within the questions. Do whatever you want. We are 4 guys on the couch. And who would like to go next on the questions?
I'm calling poop on the World Cup game. So
What?
What? Shenanigans?
yes, I was gonna say something.
Shenanigans at the World Cup.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, before we start diving in, so y'all know, 4 guys on the couch, we are 19 for 28 right now. That means we have 19. We have predicted 19 out of 28 games for the World Cup correctly.
Nigeria was the exception to that rule.
Woo! Both times. We got that wrong. No, because we thought, because they tied Iran instead of winning. Because we thought y'all were going to win. We gave you like 3-0, and you failed us.
But look at Argentina. Argentina couldn't do that 3-0 too, so it's not just like.
I think Iran should have won that game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so
Yeah.
continue on with your glorious topic.
I mean, it's more of an open discussion. What do y'all think? There's so much that's happened that's so unlikely. Like today's game against Iran, for instance, how Iran held Argentina off for 90 plus minutes. And the Ghana-Germany game, like that came out of the blue. No one was expecting that. Like I thought, okay, fine, Germany was going to sail through that group.
No, we all did. Me, you, and Andrew were talking about that last night.
Yeah, and here we see a Ghana coming back and not letting Germany hold him down.
And then the seed, even yesterday with the seeded member of their group, Switzerland, lost 5-2 to France.
France is like a dark horse.
They've come out of nowhere. Yeah. But I want to give you 3 things I think you're going to attribute this to. 1, European teams don't deal with humidity. That can take a lot out of you. World Cup magic is the other one. And I think just people are learning to be more tactical. If you look at the Costa Rica games, every time they've adjusted their tactics depending on their opponents, and they've been adaptable. Which I think, with how much access we have to everything now, it's so easy to find games like that your opponents have played, find tape. Nothing's hidden. You can find all this stuff out.
You know
and
how
there's-
much to tackle this person.
and you know their tendencies because you have more access to so many players now. Like you can see every game Messi has played in the last 4 years. I mean, there's so much access to everything. And so it's the World Cup.
I mean, that and I think it's no longer a game of who you are on paper. I mean,
there's always going to be some teams that are always going to favor.
yes. But at the same time, it's more of no one knows anyone at this World Cup. Everyone's come with a fresh mindset. It's like, okay, fine,
But this has been the most exciting World Cup I've ever watched.
I think I would agree with that. Yeah.
It's been so unpredictable.
Yeah, it's changed. I think because a lot has changed over the last 4 years. I think what we thought, Spain coming, I think a lot of people forgot to take into account age. Iniesta's getting old.
Xavi and Xavi Alonso
Xavi
just
Alonso.
announced today that they're retiring from Spanish football.
Yeah, because age is a factor in international football. On this kind of big stage, it's every 4 years. So a lot can happen in 4 years. Teams change. We can see Costa Rica come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I didn't even think they would make it to the World Cup. Not even be 6 points.
They won a
in the group
playoff
stage.
game too.
Yeah,
I think they played South American team too. I think it was Venezuela that played for the.
What was it Venezuela in the last World Cup?
No, they haven't been in a World Cup since like '98.
Wow. Oh, okay.
They're not very good.
Okay. Sorry. No offense to
No offense to
offense.
We love you guys.
Yeah.
But,
Oh, it's Austin.
No, Austin, don't worry. I'm not gonna be upset. It's what it was. We still won though.
Yeah, we still won.
It's screwed
And
up.
We're gonna win this World Cup for sure.
No, Costa Rica's gonna win the World Cup.
I'm saying it. I'm confessing it. We're winning this World Cup.
The United States will not win this World Cup.
No.
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 Yeah. Yet. No.
Is it not? Yeah.
Nada.
There's a lot of companies that have promised certain things
To
if
the
the World
players.
Cup, if the United States win the World Cup.
Like what? PS4s for everybody?
No, like there's like heavy discounts and like I know I think Chick-fil-A said if the United States win the World Cup, the next 2 days after the World Cup, you can get a free Chick-fil-A sandwich.
They better win.
Yeah, y'all go hard. Go hard on that fish. What Chick-fil-A?
Germ what?
Talking about strategy, though, I think Iran showed that exactly today because they really showed like hey, we're just gonna counterattack Germany every time, and then when they had a lot of success doing it, and that was
If
good stuff.
y'all know, Iran's coach is Carlos Queiroz. He was the 2010, 2008, both the Euro and the World Cup. He was Portugal coach, and he was also assistant coach for Sir Alex for I think about 6 years. So,
And I meant Ghana, not Iran. Sorry, Ghana showed a lot.
okay.
Yeah. But I think honestly,
Iran did good too, but I'm saying Ghana showed a lot of strategy because their whole entire play style seemed different than the first with
Yeah,
against
they
USA.
changed a lot up in that last game. Because in the US game they were just about pace.
Yeah.
Yeah, pace.
Because also, our defenders aren't the fastest.
No.
people in the
Yeah,
universe. But that's how you're going to get past them. But when you're facing a big tactical team, Jurgen Lowe knows what he does. He's a tactician professor, and playing, pushing them. So I think they need to readjust their plan.
Plus, a lot of managers are starting to catch up. Players are starting to catch up too with play styles. Like before, Barcelona was like fantasy football. It was like just watching
Tiki-taka.
soccer. But now, other teams, I was watching Bosnia today against Nigeria, and then I was actually Dzeko should have scored, should have had that goal.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a goal actually, but then I saw the whole tactical plan. I saw like how those former, fantasy football type plays, they're becoming commonplace almost, and it is seen that it is breaking defenses because
We
it
don't
works.
need the negative moves.
So-
No, I was saying about the United States thing, Austin, it was like, you say, the United States aren't going to win, which means they're going to win the World Cup. Okay?
You want to jinx it?
Don't want to jinx it.
Wow. But
Chick-fil-A's riding on this.
Chick-fil-A is riding on this.
But yeah, just I guess a lot of strategies. People have just been catching up and playing harder. I guess now the times are changing. Things will be changing year to year. So former big names are now ending up, finishing in the group stage. The next thing we're finding out first time, or countries who don't usually make it to the World Cup end up for some reason advancing farther than anyone would ever realize. I would never think Costa Rica would be at the top. Honestly, they're my biggest surprise, and the way Iran played, it was phenomenal. Really, I was quite stunned, and I felt they could have at least won or tied that game. If not, is this Argentina? I guess the more experienced. They have Di Maria, Messi, who used to playing like.
You have Higuain,
yeah.
Aguero up top.
Yeah, exactly. You have those big names who are good on paper as well, and then they're used to top flight football. So when you come against Iran, who's they're playing maybe a bunch. I'm not exactly sure.
They have one player that plays outside of Iran.
Exactly.
And he plays in La Liga.
Yeah.
And he's their captain, and he's 33.
Yeah, exactly. So Europe. I mean, these big names in Europe who've been dominating Europe for. During these times, they can come up to it in the last few minutes when they really need it. Like Messi, he carried Argentina at it, into the round of 16 because he's already used to that, having that pressure on him that, we need you now, we need you
That's
now.
another big surprise this World Cup, because Messi with Barcelona, he is phenomenal.
He's phenomenal, yeah.
Messi with Argentina, it's a
Yeah,
joke.
it's a joke.
It's a joke. He becomes like a subpar player that should barely make the starting 11. But somehow he's carrying his weight now.
Yeah.
I'm very surprised.
A lot's changed over the last 4 years, so it's just.
The original thing was you said shenanigans in the World Cup, and to me that sounds like it's not just teams that shouldn't have made it are now making it, but there are also things that are happening, like calls in the game that are being called that seem to me that the refs are being paid off. And right, today's game with Iran, that was definitely a foul inside the 18. The guy got scissored from behind, and the ref was only 10 feet away and didn't say anything.
Yeah.
And that was in the penalty box. That would have put Iran ahead at 1-0, and that could have completely changed the game.
It's all about momentum,
Yeah.
mentality. Because same thing with like the Brazilian games.
Yeah,
There's
the
been,
first Brazil game especially.
Yeah, that is Croatia. Because when they played Cameroon, they dismantled
Yeah.
Cameroon.
They destroyed them.
I think, which is going to be a good game, by the way, Croatia, Mexico.
Oh yeah.
I'm expecting Croatia to win.
Yeah, I think so too.
Oh, no.
I'm sorry to all my Hispanic friends,
me
but
too.
Mexico's not.
Croatia looked like how they played against Cameroon. Even though they were man down, I mean, just how they dismantled everyone.
Yeah.
And Modric and Rakitic, they're just pure class in the middle of the park.
Also, Ivan Perisic, he's up. He did pretty well.
Which one?
Ivan
Perisic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perisic. He did pretty well. That goal he did, although the goalkeeper, I have some questions.
Then Mario. Also, that's another thing this World Cup. Goalkeeping.
Yeah, goalkeepers. What's been up, yo?
What's it?
Henry.
It's either subpar or it's really good.
You're not. There's no middle ground.
There's no middle ground. Yeah.
No, it's funny. Ghana switched their goalkeeper too.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I didn't see that. Wow.
Mexico's goalkeeper kept him in the game.
Ochoa
did a phenomenal job.
Shout out to Ochoa.
Yeah.
Especially his hair.
In case you're watching this, Ochoa.
You're never gonna watch this, but I like your hair.
Zach Dudley is the white Ochoa, by the way.
Zach, but Ochoa's got like an afro.
But Ochoa was white. He
Yeah, he probably leaves that one.
No, because that's what he's protecting the goal.
Oh, dude,
That's
yeah,
our-
for sure.
Yeah. Another big surprise: the Dutch. I thought they're all washed up. They're old. But
Ha! We had a strategy change.
They have
Put
that.
Robin at forward and we're good to go.
They have Van Persie. Their demise is decided already.
no, but it's Van Hall. I think it's all credits to Van Hall tactically.
Van
He's,
Persie sucks.
he's adapted it to each opponent, which just makes me excited to be a United fan.
Van
right
Persie
now.
sucks. Just saying.
Dude, flying header. How can you say he sucks?
He's
Header,
tied. There
Schneider.
is a four-way tie for Golden Boot right now. Van Persie, Robin, Muller, and
That's two from the Netherlands.
Van Persie sucks. Salty Arsenal fan. Hashtag salty Arsenal fans.
oh, you guys are both Arsenal fans. You're both Nigerian. I'm calling conspiracy theory.
Yeah, what?
Y'all can win a title. It's
They
okay.
don't know about the Colts. We can't tell them about the Colts.
You guys are like A&M fans.
What? Hey, what?
You guys are like A&M graduates.
You ever
They're
see your
cold.
whoop?
Hey, whoop! Or how do you do it?
Wow!
Wow.
That's the Arsenal ball.
What?
Nothing.
So let's just go. Let's go to finish off this topic. Biggest surprise of the World Cup.
Biggest surprise, I would have to say, I don't really know. I'm between England bowing out a little early, and
No, I saw England bowing out.
and Iran playing as good as they have, I would say.
I would go with that. Iran playing as good as they did, holding off Argentina. I mean, they
Would
can.
you group Costa Rica and how they've been playing with that too?
You say that? Yeah,
I'd say that,
I would
yeah.
say that. Yeah.
Because they beat Uruguay and Italy, two top 10.
Two top.
Yeah.
True.
I mean, haven't been in the same group as England.
They're in, if they beat England on whenever they play them, Costa Rica, no idea how far they go. I think,
Yeah.
but honestly, quarters is I think is when their magic is going to run out.
Yeah, you could. Yeah.
Because I can.
Yeah, he's gonna start to get to them.
No, they play. Costa Rica is ridiculously mid.
It's already pretty bad.
No, I meant figuratively.
I think someone will figure out their tactics and figure it out.
Yeah.
I have to say my biggest surprise is probably still Costa Rica. Costa Rica is definitely doing better than I would have ever given them credit for. But at the same time, they didn't make it to the World Cup, and that's in itself a way.
You're one of 32 teams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's
Out
so
of
much more
208.
countries. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
It's big.
Costa Rica, and I would say the other half of it would be Ghana impressed me today, tying Germany. And I know they lost to USA, which is weird because I don't know. I think
Just
the
the
whole
rise.
bracket is a weird.
It's a
death
group. It's a group of death. It's
Yeah.
the death.
You can't really predict who's going to leave except Germany.
But the U.S. just need to win.
Yeah.
If they beat
Like
Portugal.
I said, even if we tie Portugal, we get 4, and then if we can tie Germany, it's 5.
Yeah.
And we
Or even if we lose to Germany and it's just by like one goal,
Yeah.
we'll have a better goal differential than
Yeah.
Portugal.
I think USA's already out of the group stage. And I honestly think we can beat Portugal.
Because they're missing Pepe on red, Contral and Almera is injured. Ronaldo is not 100%.
Not at all.
Yeah.
No, I think we can break down everything. We'll have Jermaine Jones finish.
Wait.
We'll finish his yellow card streak in this injury.
Wait, in the one quick question though, how does the red card work? Is it as usual, like 3 games out?
No, it's 2 games.
2 games out?
And a yellow card, yellow consecutive is 3 or 2 yellow cards. Can't remember the change. And it's 3.
3, so you
One ban.
one game back.
Okay.
Alright. Thanks.
Okay. My biggest surprise is the rise of the Netherlands and France and the fall of Spain and England. The rise, because I didn't think France would be. I just thought they'll probably just barely make it out of the group stage. I thought the Dutch were old and washed up, and Spain and Chile were going to run that group, but they completely proved me wrong. But that's good though. That's showing that don't count.
I expected it. That's all I can say.
Okay.
Dutch!
Yeah.
Dutch.
Forever.
Dutch forever.
That's right.
Okay. Thank you guys for watching. We are 4 guys on the couch. Who's up for the next topic?
I just went, so.
You got it.
Okay, I got it.
Is there a World Cup question?
It's gonna kind of not really relate to the World Cup, but kind of tie around it. I don't know. Okay, probably you guys have not hung around a lot of Nigerians, but one thing I noticed a lot is a lack of faith in our team. Is an extreme lack of faith in our team, and I'm not talking about like
We're Americans.
Yeah,
We have a lot of
Americans. You guys have a lot of faith in your team, but then ours, like every time.
No. We don't have a lot of faith. Real soccer fans don't have a lot of faith. It's the idiots that just watch soccer during the World Cup. I'll embed it into the description, but it's by College Humor. It is what Americans. It's like just playing off of the ignorance of Americans and telling them like it was taken in SoCal, and they're like, so did you know that if Texas are fielding a team and if they beat the United States, they get to succeed for the United States.
The heck?
No, you just ask these random questions to people. Well, I'll show it to you, Toby, after this conversation.
Okay.
I'll embed it in the link
Description.
Yeah.
below the screen.
But it's just, I was just wondering because, like, I mean, even though you may not necessarily, like, okay, you know your country's, like, not, you kind of have a sense, like, okay, they're not going to make it. But ours is kind of like, it's out there. It's like full blown. It's like, I don't care. We're not making it anyway. It's like forget it. Like every time I was back in boarding school in Nigeria, like I would be the only one in my entire school who would be like, yeah, Nigeria, we can make it past the group stage. We can get there. I'd be voicing, that faith. Like, yeah, we can do it. And then everybody would just shut me down. Like, there's no way we're doing it. There's no way we're getting anywhere. And I wondered, why is that? Why was it such a big mentality? Like, there's no way we're getting anywhere. You know, there's no real support for us. And every time somebody makes a mistake, it's like, oh, shoot him that. Like, he sucks. Never really boosting. More like, always saw like it was more like demoralizing. You know, like if I hear the cries just from not at the stadium, but from the TV screens, you know, it would be really harsh, you know. And it wasn't like, you know, like this nitpicks of people here and there. It's like everybody, you know. It's like literally people sit down just to criticize their own country in a match. So, I mean, not like I'm forming any hate against my own country or anything, but it's just I noticed it over the years, you know. And even after we win African Cup of Nations, you know, thank God for that, you know, it still kind of upsets me a bit, like, you know, there's not that faith, like we're the champions of Africa, you know, we can take that same power and we can get it into the World Cup, but why the heavy negativity that I see a lot, you know? So I kind of want to ask you guys, like, is it gonna be like, is it like maybe why would a country, you know, why would people have, you know, what factors come into play in this that kind of like it comes out in the open during like the World Cup matches, like it comes out into play, like you have all of a sudden there's just a big, you know, kind of like this
Lack of faith.
Yeah, like a lack. Yeah, it just goes out of whack.
One thing I will say towards Nigeria is because if you remember the 90s, Nigeria were on fire.
Yeah.
Yes.
They were truly called the Super Eagles.
Yes.
And y'all were good not to the 98 World Cup, and then y'all just fell straight from grace. Y'all just fell so fast now. I think that could play to it. That's just outsiders being. But for me, because I kind of have a similar. No, don't get me wrong. I love my country.
Yeah.
I love my national team. You will see me there every time rooting. But it's more for me. It's more facepalm moments and just shaking my head and like the stupidity is going on. You know, because you know I watch a lot of soccer. Like I watch soccer with my family when it's the United States. Like we had it on the other day, and you know they think just taking a shot into lofted into the stands or kicking a ball forward like 30 yards is a good thing. I'm like,
no, you risk losing possession.
Just booty.
It's not football.
Oh my god.
so it's more
It's like a headbutt.
I think it's more towards the American culture of soccer than the actual national team is for me. You know, and I'll criticize our national team when it's like, why the heck did you pick him over him? You know, like Landon Diamond situation. Like I thought
That's experience right there.
you have so much experience pick him over Julian Green. You know, putting Landon. You know, he's had so many big World Cup moments. You know, put him in like in the last 10 minutes. He'll create something for us.
How old is
You know,
Landon Diamond?
32.
It's not even like there's
It's not
so many
that-
older people that are playing.
Yeah.
So it's like
Drogba.
Not on our team.
no, not on our team. Just
But I mean, like, this is another stupid
Drogba.
thing. Every coach should be starting Drogba. How well he's been playing this World Cup.
Yeah.
They're a bunch of dummies. Right there. But yeah, I think it's, for me.
Sorry to our Ivorian friends.
Yeah, it's alright, but we love you
You're not
guys.
doing it right.
You're just not doing it right. You fired coach. No, but for me, it's more about the people that they're soccer fans during the World Cup.
Yeah.
They're not soccer fans all around.
All around.
So they don't watch the domestic leagues. They don't watch, you know, every national team game. They just watch the
Watch
World
the
Cup.
World Cup. Yeah.
Or the Olympics, and then I tell them Olympic soccer. It's not
that
good.
big.
It's just like a little youth competition.
Yeah.
Unless you're watching the women's. The women's is good, but I mean, which that's where I think we get a little cockiness from Americans, like we should better, because our women's team is so good.
Yeah.
Our women's
Yeah.
team has never placed in the FIFA rankings outside of 2. They've been 1 and 2 always,
Wow.
and they usually switch between Germany and Sweden. So, in Japan recently, because when they won the World Cup. So, that is my opinion on the statement. It's more towards people of the country
Yeah.
that I'm more pissed off about.
I mean, but in comparison, like soccer is to Nigeria what American football is to the US.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of Africa. Actually, all of Africa. No, except for South Africa. They're kind of more of a rugby cricket nation.
Yeah.
Because of a lot of other nation influences out.
Yeah, a lot of it.
The Dutch, the
Dutch.
British.
Dutch and British are major. But I don't see that in my country. I don't know, well, of course, the Dutch, who actually roots for the Dutch in America, they're not very many people. They're just like a handful of group that you might find unless you actually meet a bunch of Dutchmen over here. So I always have faith in my country, even though everyone else is like, no, they're just washed out team,
Yeah.
or no, they're
Well,
older.
I have my Dutch heritage.
I know, but it's just like,
I just use practical what I observed.
I'll use blind faith in the Dutch because they always surprise. They always get past group
Yeah.
stage. They always do this and this. They are never considered good. They're never considered they're never considered the best. I'll take that back. They're
Yeah.
never considered the best. They're never even thought of making it to the finals. Robin failed for us like 4 years ago. I think Robin did a horrible job in the game for Spain, and I don't really like the reffing that game. To me, I wish we could have done it again, but now we're never going to because Spain flopped out. But I don't see much.
Yeah, y'all already had it. It was 5-1.
Yeah, that's true. we destroyed them 5-1. But I don't see any lack of faith in my team in the Netherlands, but I see a lot of criticism from everyone else. So it's kind of more like I'm just gonna stand tall and be like, yeah, don't worry about it. Netherlands got this.
I mean, for one thing, I always thought it was I narrowed down to a few things. One was like the concept of fear. Like in these terms, like fear, it's just pretty much what is defined as just like faith in the ability of the adversary. You know, when you have faith in the ability of the adversary over what you have, over what you have, and about to go into Holy Spirit mode, but like the Bible, like whenever I read God's word, it tells us, in the Bible supposedly there's like 366 fear nots, one for each year. So why fear? Why fear the opposition?
We got it.
Yeah. So,
We're good.
Yeah, we're good. Okay, so I know like our team is, maybe it's not necessarily the best, and all that, but also sometimes a lot of things come into play, like is a lack. Sometimes there can be a bit of a lack of patriotism involved, and a lot of issues, with government and whatnot. It's a lot of details, a lot that's going on, especially with terrorism as well. So a lot of that comes into play, but during these times like these, especially these times, I feel, that it's time to, gear up and, let's go. Yeah, that's what Nelson Mandela did. He used sport to help, help build a national heritage, help build that patriotism, that sense of patriotism in sport. So whatever grounds we choose, whatever we start with, at least if it's with sport, with soccer, at least let's start with it. We're a pretty decent team. If we won African Cup of Nations, we're a pretty solid squad to make it to the top 32 teams in the world. You're a pretty good squad, So, to all my Nigerian brothers and sisters out there, you guys, please have a little more faith. I beg of you. It would help not just myself. It would help us all.
Because we are the number one podcast.
We're the number one podcast.
We're the only one that matters.
Yes.
What he said. So, just, and to anyone, any other country that's having that same issue, stand your ground with your team, even if, don't look at, the Lionel Messi's and the Ronaldos and the Suarez's,
That's why I have full confidence in us beating Portugal.
Exactly. Just have a little faith, have some faith, because, you're not the one out there on the pitch, they're the ones standing in front of 6 billion people to play a game for 90 minutes, and
the Brazilian league.
Yeah, the Brazilian.
Yeah.
So just stand by them. Cheer them on. Even if you're not there on the pitch and screaming in the crowd, but then behind the screen, is the same thing. Life is spiritual, so have a little more faith in your team. Is all I'm saying to anyone, not just Nigerians, but
But especially
Nigerians.
Well, just to add to what he said, though, look at Bosnia. That's recently became a country. Became a country in '92.
Yeah.
Wow. There it is. In '98, you know, they've managed to rally around around their sports team, and the sports team has managed to like give back. You know, amidst all the floods that have happened this year in their country, amidst all the calamity, they've managed to like, you know what? These are our guys. They need our support. Let's support them, even though they might not have a chance.
Well, I think it was 2006 when Ivory Coast made it to the World Cup. There was a civil war in Ivory Coast, and both sides stopped the fighting because of the Ivory Coast went to the World Cup.
Wow. That's powerful.
They know
Big-
it was all over the news, I believe.
Yeah, I think that was 2006. So I think that was one of the commercials ESPN was running
Yeah.
for the. They had that. They had a whole bunch of commercials like that though, but they were really cool. So, yeah, I would definitely agree with y'all's sentiments. You know, never. You should always have your national pride.
Always have your national pride.
And they're representing you.
Exactly. Yeah.
They are the
representing
top
you.
23 players in your nation.
Exactly.
So they must be doing something
That's
right.
Something right.
One thing to add though, African-wise, the African teams have been a little underwhelming this World Cup.
Except Ghana.
Except Ghana.
Underwhelming. That doesn't mean they're bad. I'm just saying they're just not performing up to par.
Up to par.
The ones, the continent that's been playing the best is North America.
They have one game.
What?
Wait, how many games have they had?
United States, Mexico, and Costa Rica have been playing. Honduras is just Honduras. But they had a good game against Ecuador. They didn't beat Ecuador, but they actually had a pretty good game. Then actually in South America. Everyone, you know, the Americas have represented. Represented.
My last comments on this topic would be like if you look at it, even though America only usually celebrates the U.S. team every 4 years on the World Cup, we do we just give it our all, and it's because we, no matter what's going on, our country has made it through the trials to get to the World Cup. That means the top 32 out of 205. So, first of all, our team got over there. They're in Brazil now. They're in foreign land. Two, they're playing their hardest for us to bring glory to our country. And so I feel like it's really disrespectful if you're going to be sitting back and saying, dude, our team's going to lose, we suck. That's just horrible. I think you should have you should just be able to cheer them on for the sake that, look at the work they're putting in, and you're sitting on a couch doing what? You're yelling at them?
We're on a podcast.
Seriously? No, I mean, not us. In general, though. You're watching them.
Yeah.
But, so I think people need to, realize that, even though you might be saying it just to yourself, your attitude is horrible. You should be supporting those guys that are taking time out of their days to go do this, basically, because you can't live off of being a soccer player, for the rest of your life. This is something that these people are doing for now.
Unless you're David Beckham.
Yeah, I mean, unless you're filthy, unless you get filthy rich from it, and you can somehow save the money. But otherwise,
Endorsement deals.
But teams like Nigeria, what are those players going to do when they stop playing? They're going to have to figure out something else to do.
They're hoping that there's going to be one out of those 23. They're going to be hopeful that they might get an ESPN job once every 4 years to run a World Cup.
Exactly. So you should
or invest the money they're getting from the foreign leagues now into businesses.
Rio Ferdinand has a restaurant somewhere in England, I believe.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he has a restaurant. It's pretty nice. So, see.
Or just become an analyst. Or be a manager. Manager or analyst, it's usually
around.
Okay, well said, everyone. That was our longest topic, so nope, it wasn't. My bad. I overplayed how long our topic was. Okay. Remember, guys, we are 4 guys on the couch, and this is our last topic. And it is Chris Skelton.
Yes, it is. Alright, so I think the next World Cup has already been set where it's at.
Russia.
But, Russia. So what I would like to talk about is the dangers of leaving and going off to different places like Brazil, like Russia, and
not just the World Cup.
Not just the World Cup during this, but what are the dangers that you oversee in national events, but going over to other countries? So I heard, I think it's just a rumor right now, but I've heard like a lot of people have not so much getting abducted, but there was a threat of getting abducted by going to Brazil and watching the games and being an American in foreign territories like that. And like, I can understand it because a lot of Americans only speak English, and so they're going over to Brazil and they don't realize that they speak Portuguese, and they probably maybe know Spanish, and that'll help them out a little bit. But like, there's so many easy ways to get abducted, to get like killed.
Yeah, it's gonna be like an insult, like, ¿por qué?
Yeah.
Americano. Americano. Yeah.
So,
But I'll even broaden the topic. What are other international events where that poses dangers to?
Now, even one of the highest rates of abductions in the United States is at the Super Bowl every year.
Yeah, and that's even in our own country. It's
Our
people
own
going
country.
from state to a different state.
Yeah.
Like we're
And there's the risk of being trafficked.
yeah.
There's also I heard that around the Super Bowl time as well, that's when all the pimps gather. That's just
Pimps gather.
You know, it's the Super Bowl for the teams, and then it's the Super Bowl for them as well.
Yeah.
You know, because let's face it, the world is depraved like that. You know, you're going to watch a sport in another state, but the very fact that we're still that kind of society where it's like, well, I still need to scratch an itch, so I'm going to go with,
Right.
you know.
I think it's just in a lot of national events, it's just opportunity. You know, there's always opportunity from both sides, good and evil. So there's always some opportunity, and I think like some risks. You know, terrorism threats. You know, security is a big issue. Like one of the games actually in Brazil. There was
the Chile, was it Chile?
Yeah, Chilean fans. Yeah, the Chilean fans tried to break through. I don't know for some reason. And they did.
Collapse
Collapse the wall and everything. So those were the fans.
Yeah.
Those were not even like actual organized terrorist groups.
Right.
Those are fans. So, and you know that if those are just fans, then imagine when an actual organized, you know,
Yeah,
terrorist
I like
group
this Taliban.
decides to just go ahead if they can.
brought their teams over.
Exactly. So, like, and it's like, I don't know. Speaking of terrorism plots, like okay.
Oh,
Oh no, the struggles.
Another like speaking of terrorism plots, you'd even go one step further and be like, all right, let's say we're going to Brazil, America's going to Brazil. What if like the CIA or somebody brings in somebody and is like, oh, we're just a fan going to the games, and then all of a sudden like we're trying to overthrow the government.
Wow.
Something that I'm sorry, Toby.
It escalated quickly.
We're gonna fix this. Keep on talking. Actually, I was gonna say.
Go ahead.
If you saw, they talked about this during the Nigeria podcast, or you know, it's here now. Okay, but during the game, they talked about how
There was a bomb blast.
There's a bomb blast. 14 people were killed in their home country
Trying to watch the game.
trying to watch the game. And if you notice, if you've been watching ESPN, they've been showing off like the big fan zones they've had in Brazil.
Yeah.
It's prime spot. If a terrorist wants to do something, there's all these people here, and you know, like people, not in America because we're not cool, but a lot of other nations, like I know, like in Spain, they have outside of Real Madrid Stadium, they have the giant thing. They have the giant jumbotrons showing the game. These are the struggles. Yeah, they see everything. Everything that's on there is what they see. They realize our struggles.
Yeah.
The voice still goes through though. That's all.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
That's good. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Just a lot goes on. You know, always opportunity to do something. You know, and honestly, it's just the way the world is, I guess, right now, especially in these end times. You know, there's a lot that's just gonna be going down. You know, and, you know, I think upcoming in Russia, I'm not exactly sure about how Russia is. I believe it's pretty stable, right? Except for the vodka, they still have that.
Well, you know, they're anti-gay. Sochi was a disaster.
Yeah, so here's such a yeah.
But most of it's going to be in eastern Russia, though. Like Moscow has a bunch of